laying it up. You keep it laying it up. Yeah.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Shane Davis.
And I am Brandon Fountain, and we are the Controlled Burn.
We're having a tough start.
We have a very special episode for you today.
If you feel, like the energy's a little off, it is.
No, it's not.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Energy's fine.
We're going to lie to the Berniacs, the burnouts,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. There's no issues.
the millions.
Customers don't complain. No problems.
No, dude. Usually it's our fault. You know what I mean? Like if for lawsuit purposes, go ahead and mark this down. Yeah. Tis our fault. Just playing. Biatches. No, man. So, with at the end of the day.
What? Hold on. How about at the beginning of the day?
In the middle of the day.
There you go. All right.
I love my job. I know, it's one of those love-hate. Definitely some days are better than others.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I can speak for the both of us to a point on this. We really, really enjoy what we do. Some people got to swing a hammer,
Some people have to dance naked on a pole.
Right. And I can't dance. So it's...
I can't fit on a pole.
The pole would be a struggle. I'm not quite as limber as I once was.
Can you imagine?
No, dude, I'm getting gray in my beard. Like, I'm at the point now to where I can find my individual long white beard hairs and, like, separate them, chop their head off. And
if you pluck a gray hair, 10 more grow back.
Yeah, see, that's
the wives' tale. Yeah.
No, I don't even pluck it. I get it. It has to earn its right to get chopped again. But yeah, man. No, it's we've been doing this. Today is actually, everybody give us a big round of applause for Brandon. He's at his 4 years at OKCTL.
Yeah, man, 4 years. Can you believe
4
that?
whole years of dealing with assholes. I mean, dealing with great people and this wonderful, positive community.
It has felt like 4 years.
No,
honestly, I can't believe it, man. It's just I was in the car business, so like longevity. It's not something you do at one company.
Right,
car
right.
Business, just,
Y'all a bunch of hoes.
Yeah, we just we bebop,
No, I'd love to see a picture of like the day you started to today. Like, how like presidents at the beginning of their term to the end, they age 20 years.
I was a lot fatter. I had more hair.
Were you here when we went to TJ? I don't remember.
No. Yeah?
Was that right before?
No, that was before.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened at our last place.
No, so what, and it's honestly, it's kind of a lot better.
What, Tijuana?
No, the kind of the issues that we run into on a weekly basis.
Oh, yeah. It's not anything like it used to be.
No, well, we were all kind of learning together. And it's one of those things that, like, you kind of have to, like how Oma just sent an email out on instructions on what to do with severe weather. So, we saw that massive tornado in Enid, like a week ago. It was an EF4, they believe. And, dude,
I didn't realize it was that big.
Oh, dude, I've seen, like, it went through a neighborhood and completely leveled every house. I mean, leveled. And as of right now, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but as of right now, there were no deaths. Nobody died, which is a miracle.
Right.
But, I mean, like, and this was, like, a pretty nice neighborhood. There was just squares of where the houses used to be. And there were no casualties. Obviously a handful of people, I think, got injured. But up until something like that happens and that affects, like a cannabis-related business, you don't really know what to do, right? So
did it affect a cannabis-related business?
So I don't know of anyone specifically, but I would imagine, because they ended up sending out an email to all of us on basically what you should do if, like, your cannabis business gets leveled by, like, an EF4 tornado.
What should you do, Shane?
So,
did you read the email?
The Cliff Notes. It basically says go to the OMMA portal, where you kind of do everything and report, that you were affected by the weather.
I have a feeling there's going to be some a tornado done come and stole all my weed.
Right. It is the season. If you're trying to get out now before this,
This is the time.
yeah. If you ain't trying to register, go ahead and claim naders. But no, so you go in, you put in that happened, and that I think that at least gives you some kind of safety if you're not doing all the reporting that you're supposed to be doing. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left me.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Oh, my bad. It came out. But no, so I remember before Metric went live was when I was like really on the side of like having to report. You were like, we had to report monthly all of our inventory numbers, sales, whatever came in, whatever went out. And I believe with Metric, you're supposed to, continuously do that. So, obviously if you don't have a business anymore because God decided to remove it, you can't do that reporting. So you would go to the OMA portal and, put it in there and
report it.
Maybe, within like 6 months to 2 years, they might pop in, and when they try to catch you up, I'm like, I reported it. But with what we do, we kind of run into, like, especially like in the beginning, like there's very unique problems depending on like the kind of product that you make, like whatever your grow process is. Our lab, OKCTL, I mean, we kind of pride ourselves in having like tons of methodologies for every kind of product that's out on the market. But you got to get that product before you can even start to make the game plan on how that should be, treated. So like nowadays we're like moving in on a decade of being in this, industry. You think you pretty much have most situations knocked out. But, we still run into surprises, which kind of will catch us off guard nowadays. It's kind of like, well, fuck, we thought we saw everything, but clearly not. But we get paid to figure out problems. We're essentially problem solvers. And I think we're pretty freaking good at it.
I would like to think so. We've seen some situations. The lab has definitely seen some very unique products. Some of which we test still every weekly or monthly.
Right.
Some that came and we did a lot of work on and got a method for, and it's never been back since.
Right.
Mostly because Oklahoma has not been a place that's done well with super, super unique products. Now, there's actually a few that I think probably cut their teeth here in Oklahoma and now are in other states.
Right.
But, like, think about it. We don't even see, like, inhalers. They're not really a thing much. Like, I think there's a company or so that does one. We don't test one frequently. In fact, I don't even know when the last time we've tested an inhaler was.
It was like once upon a time.
Once upon a time, we had pretty, not consistently, but, fairly consistently.
And that's an expensive hardware.
That's the key. That's why I don't think they do well, man, is because the cost has been driven down so far that there's no benefit because they're not selling enough to, justify doing it and ordering it. And because usually a unique product comes with a lot of cost,
right.
Labor, the devices. The reason devices get inexpensive is because they're able to make hundreds of thousands of them,
right?
So they can drive the cost down. But if it's not a super unique, device, if it thinks it's a device.
Well, I know, like tariffs were a big that impacted a ton of our customers. And I ran into a couple of patients. They were an older couple. They were really nice, and they love disposables, right? And nowadays, because our market is so competitive, like if you have if you don't put the effort into finding a really, really high functioning disposable, and it leaks or it stops pulling, or they don't get every drop of that medicine out of it before it stops working, those your patients will never buy that product again.
No.
But it's honestly, on the flip side of it, it's been a good thing because it keeps everybody competitive and honest. Like when you go to a lot of the high traffic dispensaries now, they don't have a ton of like the cheap hardware. Like those have kind of been phased out. Like we ran into
like the clones and
right. Like we worked for a company that there was another company with a very similar name to us, and all the time, like they would try to like kind of affiliate us with that company's like pods.
Yeah, because this company had a very different device than we had. It was not even in the same realm. I mean, same realm, but like we had a cart, they had a pod.
Right.
And so oftentimes we would walk in like, hey, we've got a couple pods we need to send back. And we're like, oh, no, wrong person.
We still run into odd shit occasionally nowadays. We do not have it all figured out. We're getting there.
No, but we tell people all the time. I tell my customers, like, check it out. If you have a unique product, and I still have people that tell me, oh, we're thinking about launching a blah, blah, blah. And it's like, check it out. Don't make the product and have any expectation, or at least not a soon expectation on launching it. Like, don't gas your dispensaries up for it.
Right.
Until we can get it, because we need to, if you truly have a unique product and it's not something that's just, a scotch different than something we already have.
Right.
I would like to receive that product, an R&D version of that product, play with it, and then you can send in a full compliance. So that way we make sure that we have the extraction down. But for the most part, I mean, there's not a whole lot that could be created at this point that we would need an exceptional amount of time on. The most that we would ever really need time on right now is just something that we have to figure out how to get the device open. Really mainly now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, so we basically, which I say we very loosely, so our smarts in the laboratory,
aka the nerds,
right? They reverse engineer kind of everything you do. So even if we have never tested something like that, which is super rare at this point, but if we have, your expectation, an ingredients list, like a real true ingredients list, and we've also offered to sign paperwork. Like we will not
if we
kiss
need
and
to
tell.
we will.
Yeah. It's, I mean, whatever, makes the most sense for you, makes you feel the most comfortable. We do not kiss and tell, but we've got to know every variable if we're actually going to, give you some accurate results. And we've got at this point, like me and you know exactly kind of what we need to ask, what we're looking for, and we'll even come to your facility and watch how you're doing everything. Like, I had an odd deal, and I think we talked about this on the show before, but we had a client that had some distillate that had been like kind of sitting around for a couple months, and he got it tested, and it kept popping for butane. And he had...
It's probably not even extracted in butane. It's probably extracted in ethanol.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that was kind of the first line of defense.
Hey, man, what the hell?
Right. Yeah. Impossible. Because we get that all the time. This is impossible. You guys are
There's no
wrong.
way this could happen.
And so, with our team of detectives, like I feel like we like Sherlock Holmes this shit every now and then. But
sometimes.
He went through, purged... which he was like, I got almost nothing, put it on a vacuum, pulled for this amount of time at this temperature, got nothing almost. And then he said one sentence that kind of like got my brain like, he said that he had went through and cleaned his cart filling tool, like the cart filling gun, with air duster. And so then I pull up ChatGPT, put it on thinking mode. Hey, life hack, y'all. If you use ChatGPT, if you go into the settings, you can change it to thinking mode, and it's gonna. So typically, when you ask something on chat, like it'll give you an answer, within seconds,
fairly quickly. Yeah.
If you put it on thinking mode, it might take 10 minutes.
It might,
but it is going to find every available piece of information on whatever question you're asking. It's fantastic, but
it's great. It's going to give you the most intricate, broken down well-sourced answer available.
It's
but it may take
phenomenal.
30 minutes.
It may take
and
forever.
the question may be, how often does an average American eat a piece of processed cheese? But by golly, you'll know.
If the answer's out there,
If the
it's
answer's
gonna find
out
it.
there, it'll tell you. Thinking
but-
mode's dope, dude.
and a lot of air duster products out there, like across the board, they use a hydrocarbon process with it. So there might be butane,
Any other form of solvent.
right?
Butane, methane.
They'll
one
use
of those.
a couple of different solvents. Butane's like the most common one. So he's going through all this work, and he's 100% confident that this could not be in there, but he is contaminating his cart filler as he's going back and cleaning it.
Oh, dude.
And so, literally, comes back through, X-nays the butane or the air duster, boom, found it. And it's shit like that now, the next time, we've kind of got like a fast lane to the answer. Like, hey, are you using this? And
So hold on. He was using air duster to clean out his cart filler?
yeah. He was spraying it off. So he was using like isopropyl or whatever to
I
like
gotcha.
clean off the
Okay.
the actual oil residue, and then he was going back through and air dustering
To
it.
dry it and-
Right,
yeah, okay.
right.
No, that wasn't a good idea. Well, I mean, here's the thing, man.
If you don't know-
you can't even say that's not a good idea because most people, including ourselves, a couple years ago, would never think that would be a problem.
Ever.
So, similar situations that I've had. Aspergillus. You know,
About to trigger me, bro.
you probably have heard
Trigger
us
warning,
talk
everyone.
about it a time or two. It's actually been a lot better lately, mainly because you know,
Lord.
most of our customers we do a whole lot of processors. No, but
We could
this
teach classes
oh, bro.
on aspergillus.
Here's
at
what's
this point.
funny is this is when it's this is funny because this was at a processor. So we have if you don't know, now you know. You don't usually see mold fails, period, in processed goods, especially BHO. Anything that was extracted with a solvent, it's usually not present there because most solvents also kill microbes. However, we had a customer that was doing, just regular, gram jars of concentrate,
Right.
and they would send it in one of their little pucks, and it was failing for aspergillus. But what's really rare is because it's not super unlikely that it'll pop once, a processor here and there just randomly, right? But usually it's never present in the reserve sample.
Right.
This sample was multiple things on the order, was failing the primary, and the same exact strains of aspergillus were failing on the reserve every time. And I was like, oh, well, that's weird.
There's more to the story.
There's more to the story.
Right.
So I call, and of course they're like, yeah, dude, there's no way. We use brand new tools to pull it out. They were using like the metal scoops. We use brand new ones. They set in a jar of ethanol to keep them clean between times using them, and blah, 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 and he was like, we wipe the jar out with alcohol, and then we put it in the oven to dry it so there's no residual alcohol because we failed for alcohol in the past by doing that.
Right.
I'm like, okay. And he was like, so I think this one's on y'all. I was like, okay. I mean, here's the thing. I'll never immediately just shit on you and say, it's not us.
No,
I'm always willing to look within.
we take the innocent until proven guilty.
Well, 100%.
approach.
100%. Because, we're a lab, but we're all human.
Right.
There's been mistakes made that we've been able to catch that have been something that's been caused by us. And
Allegedly.
we fix it. Allegedly. But it turned into this deal. It just was a thing, and we talked through. Finally, I went out there a couple weeks later, I think, just to pick up samples, not
Right,
even
right.
to. And I said, hey, man, just for shits and gigs, show me where you pull your samples at, Because in my brain, I'm like, I wonder if the jar is somehow getting contaminated.
Well, yeah,
in the area.
Like, it's not the product 99% of the time.
Well, it's exactly, it wasn't the product. That's what I was asking to see, like, how's your product stored, blah, blah, blah. In my brain, I'm like, I bet they're leaving it with the lid off for, X amount of time, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
No, dude. I walk into a room and...
They're making it in a bread factory.
It's like super, like, well put together, been ovens, jars clean. You could see they wipe stuff down. But he was like walking me through the process, and he was like, and I grab these jars, I clean the jar out, and I noticed that the little puck thing, he's got them stacked up by the wall, right? But the lids are in a separate thing right behind it. On the wall, right above the box, is just black mold growing up the wall. And I'm like, I bet you didn't clean out the lid, did you? And he goes, I'll have to check.
You're right. Well, and that's what, if you want a visual of what we're talking about.
And it sounds so stupid, but it's real.
If I'm sure all of us at some point in life have had to like get under like our kitchen sink.
Yeah.
And if you open up those drawers and you've ever had like a leak in there.
Oh, go peek.
And you peek in the back and you'll visibly see. And by the time you can visibly see black on the wall or on whatever has been wet, like that's at the millions.
Millions and millions.
The standards that we're all held to are at the levels that you couldn't visibly see if you tried.
We're looking for a single spore.
Right.
On aspergillus.
Which is...
But even on total yeast and mold, we're looking for 10,000 FCFU fails.
And you can't see
You can't see 150,000, which is our plate max. Typically.
If you have flour, because, we've got this all the time too, that... There's no way, this could be failing because I'm looking at my bud and I don't see anything. It's like, if you're at the point where you're breaking it open and you're seeing like spider webs, like you're in the millions.
Yeah, that's a problem.
In Colorado, the fail limit is 100,000 CFUs.
Is it 100 or 50?
It's 100.
100, okay.
And you can't see 100. These things are small.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't look at it under a microscope and see it.
Well,
it's likely not formed into what we would know as, that's mold.
It's life in, I'm going to quote Jurassic Park here.
Here we go.
Life finds a way.
Life does find a way.
Oh, you got to pause. You got to let
that.
Yeah.
Say it again. Sorry.
Life finds a way.
That's deep.
That was sexy. But no. So these spores, like they almost like the movie Alien, like they pop open. And when they pop open, they're shooting little baby spores out, and like they want to live, they want to spread, they want to grow, like they want to be around, and they want to get everywhere they can. Like I've had,
I feel like we can't post this on YouTube now. I feel like that was too graphic. I think that was dirty.
No, I want to like
we may have a new tick. We may have a new genre to go into now.
Man, we should have like a cartoon representation of it, like. Like it's like I've had places that, and it's been a long time since I've ran into this, but like I don't understand how we're failing for this, and then I'll go to the facility and it'll be like one of those places where they're using like warehouse bays as their grow, but then the door, like just for airflow, they'll have the door open. Ugh. Like, so the outside air is coming in, and like I'm like,
that's no bueno.
You can't do that, man. Like I get, like, because you're also, this is only one part of your problem. Like you got to have airflow. You got to have all these things have to work, like perfectly. So you're going to grow the best product that you can. But if you don't treat this situation right, then it's going to compound into another problem.
As Cole would say, you want fabricated air or manufactured airflow, not natural airflow. I know, dude. That's good, right? But no, here's another thing, and this is really, really cool, dude. This is really good info for anybody that's growing. Even if you're not testing, if you're just home growing, still, good thing to think about. Maybe just replace where the samples are drawn with, where it's stored. But Cole says that, and I love this, you want as many doors between the outside and the room you pull your samples in,
right,
as can be, with a minimum of 3.
No, see, I like that. That's fair.
A good, that means you need to be able to walk from outside, walk in, that's one door, and then into another room, That's 2 doors, and then into another room where your samples are pulled. You should have a minimum of 3 doors between where you pull samples for testing and the outside.
Oh, dude, it wasn't. So, not to dote on Cole, you got to keep his head,
Yeah, a lot of times we shit on him. So let's boost him up a little bit.
No, he showed me, it was like the first week I worked here. They've got me like in sample prep, and he's like showing me the way that you're supposed to do it every time. And I would have never thought this. And at this point, I had prepared so many samples to send to a lab, but I'd never even considered this. But if you have 10 strains of different flower, literally, he's like, you need to change your gloves with every strain. He's like, and literally in my head, I'm like, you got a pair of gloves on, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, no. You sample it, take those gloves off, throw them away, put a new pair on, sample it. And I'm like, and yeah, dude, like you're going through a lot of gloves.
And it's a pain in the ass, but you can afford 10 pairs of gloves.
Right.
You can't afford fails.
Right. I mean,
you can, but it hurts.
It hurts.
Yeah.
So much. And
I said it right. Some people flat ass can't afford to fail 10 times.
Straight up, dude.
Or any times.
Well, and we'll get, we've gotten the phone call all the time, and there are certain checks and balances that are in place for good reason, that we have no control over the final result of your product. Me and Brandon have nothing to do with that.
If we did, brother, it would be a whole lot easier, and we'd make a whole lot more money.
We'd be in handcuffs.
But unfortunately, there are protections in place to prevent us sales folk from doing that.
No, well, we've gotten phone calls that like you can feel like, desperation is not quite the right word, but like we understand. Like we have been on that side of the fence. Just as long, if not more, as being on this side of the fence. We know how much it matters. Like, and that's why we're here to try to, like, when there is a problem, we want to, like, help you fix the problem. It doesn't do us any favors to have to call and tell you that you've got a big issue. And honestly, it sucks. Like, and I know, for us, it's like, oh, here we go. This is, this is about to hurt.
Zero benefit in it for us. For you to
zero
fail.
benefit.
Zero benefit.
And because I've had, people that are like, I've had a guy, and I like this guy a lot, but he'll get to spiraling sometimes, and something will go wrong, and he'll like, do you think they did that on purpose? Like, do you think they're like out to like fuck me over? And I'm like, no, like, bro, they don't
even know who you are.
Well, right. The way it's set up, like, it's not like if you've got, whatever top 10 brand in Oklahoma is coming through, there's not like a halo around that product saying this is who these guys are. Like, the way it's designed is everybody that's doing the real science on your stuff, they've got no dog in the fight.
No, when it gets back to them, you are not blah blah blah.
They get paid regardless.
Yeah, well, yeah. Also, by the time it gets back to them, the person who checks it in changes it from, Joe Blow's Grow to 1407 OKCTL 3711.55397.
Well, and everything gets separated from the packaging that it starts in. Everything's got to be in final form packaging. By the time it gets to the people doing the real work, it's everything,
Oh, yeah.
looks pretty much the same.
I was about to say, even when it gets back to the analyst, even if you have a cart that's branded, by the time it gets to the actual analyst, it's some distillate in a cup.
Right.
Because it's already been extracted out of the cart at that point.
And dude, and I get it. Like, when you are at your facility, you're just waiting, especially if you've had problems and now you're at the point where you've worked through them, and now let's see if this work, paid off. It's stressful, dude. Mm-hmm. Like, you've got people that you have to answer to. Like, I've told this story before, but when this all started, I was with a company that we had like a committee of owners. We had like a whole board of owners that I had to answer
Sounds
to.
Terrible.
It was a lot. And everybody's got a different ego. Everybody knows exactly what, how things are supposed to work and how it's supposed to go. Whether they know or not, they know. And so I'm having to answer to this group of people, and I at that time there were so many labs. There was almost as many labs as dispensaries. Like, and it was so early on that, you know, the bad labs hadn't really been found out yet. Dude, I remember sending our stuff to a lab, and it was relayed. It was going to take about a week. And 3.5 weeks later, 4 weeks later, I still don't have results. And these guys are giving me the runaround. I'm looking like an asshole to the people that are paying me. And I mean, and I got so desperate. Like, I was sick of these people telling me, hey, it'll be tomorrow. Hey, it'll be tomorrow. They just kept bullshitting me. And then I got, somebody had reached out to me that like knew these guys or had a terrible experience with them. And it was one of those labs that they had none of the equipment on site. So they were like sending everything everywhere else. And they didn't last much longer after this happened. Like, they were out of business before like metric. I mean, they, you know, in the easiest of times to survive, they didn't. But I literally was parked outside their front door, just like honking, like, where are my results? Like, and then finally I got smart and found another place, sent it, and got them in. And
Do not try that here.
yeah, please don't. Please don't say Shane said. It doesn't work. Trust me.
Shane said this worked for him.
Yeah, you might end up in handcuffs. Yeah, dude, it's.
We don't call the cops, but the smart people do.
right. No, dude. So we're, to the best of my ability, try to understand. We are as much on your team as we can possibly be. Like, if you go out of business, we don't make any money. Like, so if we can help you fix a bad problem and keep you compliant, keep you safe, and put true medicine out there, that's our goal. We're not going to do favors. We're not going to, I love it when they're like, you know, it needs to be this number. And I'm like, yeah, well, if it is, it is.
That'd be super dope.
It doesn't work that way, man. And you know, and me and Brandon have screamed, stomped our feet. There's been a lot of places that, you know, we've had to compete with that, you know, however they get there, they magically come up with those things. And, you know, lo and behold, a lot of those places aren't really alive and kicking anymore. They're not around.
No.
So if you do have an issue, call us, reach out to us. There's a very, very high likelihood that we can help. And if we can't, we're going to find somebody that can.
Yeah.
And
we're going to call Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call?
Bro, I'd be seeing some of this shit come in looking like Slimer.
Dude, guess what I'm doing?
The cha-cha?
No, I'm too fat for that. Tuesday, I'm flying to Atlantic City.
Oh, so it's MJ Unpacked, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to that, but I was going to say hookers and casinos, but whatever. Yeah, that too.
Yeah. MJ Unpacked, Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Bro, it looks like it's going to be fun.
No, I looked into it. It looks awesome.
It's a legit trade show. Like, you have to prove ownership, or
that's cool.
You have to, like, if you're an investor, you can go, but you have to prove, like, the fact that you have an investment in cannabis. It's not a open to the public event. You have to be in the industry in some state. You have to send your business license, blah, blah, blah. I'm pretty excited. It's everybody that's going to be there is going to be a business owner, which is cool. I'm more excited to go and see like all the cool new stuff in the industry, but I'm also, you know, excited to go and mingle and meet people and meet some new brands. And
with we talked about this last week, but the big topic in our world right now is the rescheduling of cannabis from one.
I haven't heard about it. What's going on?
Right. So
man,
they've outlawed. So you know, Donald Trump pushed the order to be signed to reschedule from 1 to 3, effective immediately. And right now there are so many rumors going on of what to do, how to do it. And I would imagine this is going to be a big topic at that trade show.
I would like to address one of the rumors. One of the biggest rumors is if it gets rescheduled, it's going to kill our dispensaries because we're going to have a pharmacist.
And so that's one of them. Yeah.
So I don't know who or why or how this all came about. who was pushing it. Obviously, it didn't just pop into old DJT's head. Someone had to, in his ear.
Right.
But whoever that person is, or whoever helped, construct that, good job, because they, if I understand correctly, disclaimer, I'm not an attorney or a doctor or even a super, super smart person. So I could be dead nuts wrong. But the way I understand is they basically are classifying Schedule 3 drugs in two different ways. FDA approved and non-FDA approved. FDA approved drugs will have to be distributed by a pharmacist and blah, blah, blah. And they will have da-da-da and blah, blah, blah. And non-FDA approved are basically like, just, now they're scheduled.
Yeah. Well,
But no, cannabis falls under the non-FDA approved.
Well, he made it clear, as clear as can be, that when this happened, he still is going to very, very, highly depend on state regulation. So, at least for the now.
Yes. Yes.
State regulation as far as like medical or recreational cannabis is right now taking priority.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I didn't hear it and I didn't read it, but I've heard two people mention that I guess Adria Berry had some comments on or about this whole thing, and apparently she said at one point that I guess she was asked, or maybe she just started touching on. Like I said, I didn't read it or see it. I want to go back and look. I know touching on, but
I won't see.
Apparently, Apparently, she said that maybe there's a route or way that you don't have to fill out the DEA approval stuff, and I'm like, what? And her explanation was that state rules trump federal rules, and I'm like,
for the now.
I'm just on the DEA's website. And this is a perfect example. It's still very up in the air. Nobody really knows. We haven't had a whole lot of much of anything, but the portal's open in 5 days to start the registration, I think. I think it was like the 4th or the 6th of next month, maybe.
Oh, I've got a handful of documents.
And also the DEA is hiring, is there 3,000 or 5,000 diversion agents? So if you, for whatever reason, haven't made it in the industry or you're bowing out or you're already out, the DEA is hiring diversion agents. Go to dea.gov to apply.
So, no,
I wonder what that pays.
We've got, I've got some info on this.
Do you?
I think for the right now, for this week, that might be a great place to stop.
No, Shane. I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think that we will stop with that, okay? I'll tell you right now.
Show me the way.
The way is this. If you